Okay, so when you're ready, we're just, you can come up towards the top of your mat if you would like. I'm just going to stand this way, but if you want to stand at the top, because you will be moving from there eventually, but we're just going to start in Samastitihi or eco standing. So either feet hip distance or bringing your big toes together. Just leave a gap at the heels, just do whatever suits you. Spread the toes a little bit and then start to lengthen through the muscles of your legs. And then from there, we'll just roll the shoulders back, lift your chin a little bit. And we're trying to align the crown of your head with the base of your spine. Just try and bring that into alignment. And then you can either close your eyes here or maybe lower your gaze a little. And we'll begin the practice just by taking a deep inhale. So just through your nose. And then we're just going to breathe out through your mouth. We'll do that again. So deep inhale to all the way down into your belly. And then exhaling everything out through your mouth. Coming to the end of that, we'll just close our lips and begin to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Just observing your breath, allowing yourself to arrive on your mat. Start to feel the mat supporting you. So using the mat to help us to ground, but also to lift up off. So our practice today is in steadiness and ease. So as we move through the class today, we're just trying to use the same feeling that you have as you're standing in Tadasana or your Samastitihi in all of your postures. So that same balance of strength, because we ultimately need strength to hold ourselves up, and also ease. So you should feel quite comfortable here and try and have that same sensation, no matter how challenging you find the posture. Okay, we'll start to open the eyes. So still standing in Samastitihi, we're going to start to lift all 10 toes up off the ground. And then we're going to lay down. So from your big toe to the second toe, all the way down to that little baby toe. And do the same thing again. So drawing the toes up off the mat. Start to lay down from your baby toe first. So just again, spreading them out, kind of like a wave as you move down. And then from here, we'll transfer the weight. So just slightly forwards and slightly back without lifting any of your feet up off the ground. We're just moving our weight here. And we're going to circle round. So we'll move forwards first, take it over to one side, take it back and round. And again, just start to feel the weight of your body and the balance of your body weight through your feet. Change direction when you're ready. And again, you have to move far, but just get that sensation of moving the weight of your body around. When you're ready, make your way back in towards the center. So as you come in, you can either stick with your feet together, or you can bring them a little bit apart. We're going to come into our chair pose. So when you're ready, we're going to bend your knees. Today we're going to take your hands just behind your back. So we're going to interlink your fingers and start to draw your chest and lift it up so the belly stays pulled in. Take another inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to fold forward, so just towards your legs. As you inhale, rise back up. So come into that chair, draw your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then as you exhale, just folding forwards again, take your time. Do that one more time. So inhale, start to lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades together, give it a little squeeze. Exhale, fold forwards. And this time on your inhale, come up halfway, so lengthen your spine forwards. And then as you exhale, we are going to fold all the way back down, releasing your hands towards the ground as you get there. Now we're going to step back with your right leg here. So just step it all the way back, lower your right knee to the ground. So we're coming in for our low lunge. And again, you can use blocks underneath your hands here if you like. But knee over the ankle on the front leg, and then start to lift up through your chest. As you lift up, let the hips sink down a little bit. As you lift your arms up, maybe take your wrists back a little bit, but just see how that feels. Now we're going to start to move through this. So on the inhale, we're going to open up through your chest, so just drawing the elbows back. Maybe you lean back a little. And then on the exhale, we're going to reach all the way back up with your arms again. So we'll do that again. So inhale, start to draw the chest open, maybe lean back. And then reaching up on the exhale. Let's do that one more time. So take your time, follow your own breath, and reach back up. As you come up this time, we'll release the hands down towards the mat. So we're going to come in for a little hamstring stretch again, hands on blocks if that helps. Start to move back, take your time. And if you'd like to, you can also pull the toes up towards you here. So just stretching through that left back of the thigh a little bit more. Start to pull your left hip back and draw your right hip forwards a little bit. Just breathing deeply. Well done. Slowly release. So start to rebend that leg. Maybe move both hands to the inside of your left foot. And we're going to take your left foot out towards the left side. So we're coming into that gate pose. As you do that, try and align your right knee and your left ankle. And then start to walk forwards through your hands. Just taking your time, stretching a little bit into that inner thigh. Again, you can definitely use blocks. So it's a wrist-free practice today, so we're going to kind of save our wrists. So this is kind of the closest thing, maybe the second closest thing we'll get to down dog today. But stretch your shoulders and push your hips up and back. If you want to stay here, then definitely do, or take your right arm and underneath your left arm, you can maybe lay that the right shoulder down and stretch your left fingertips away. Again, just see how that feels. And if you'd rather have both hands out in front of you and keep like that, then do that. And to come back up, walk your left hand in so it's more in line with your face, and then press yourself back up. As you come up, we'll walk your hands back, so towards your knees, and then start to lift up through the upper body. So as you come back, we're going to take the arms out to the side. So we're going to move over towards that left side. So start to just lean over on your inhale. And then as you exhale, just make your way all the way back up again. So we'll do that again. So inhale, start to stretch over, lengthen through your right arm as you stretch it over. And then exhale, moving up. Let's do that one once more. This time we'll stay over to that side. So start to move further into it if you can. Again, without forcing yourself, and still with that same sense of steadiness and ease. Where can you ease a little bit here? Well done. Slowly release. Come back to the center. Now this time with your left toes, you're going to turn them out. So you're going to face them towards the kind of edge, and then bending into that leg. You might need to move it in a little bit, but you come into kind of an L-shaped position on that left leg. So it's a little bit like side angle. Now you could place your left forearm down here and reach your right arm over your ear. If you want to do a little bit more, you could take that left hand down, so maybe onto your ankle or to a block of the floor, still either reaching past your ear. If that feels too much, you can always reach it straight up. Or if you'd like to, you can also take it behind your back. So we use it to then rotate the chest down more. What feels right? And as you stay in things longer, just starting to feel Does it still feel ease? Is there still a softness? Or is it becoming overwhelming? Let's take one more inhale. Slowly release, so come back up again, take your time. And then take your hands down towards the front again. We're going to move that left foot round towards the front once more. You can either stay here, so in this low lunge, or if you'd like a little more, tuck your toes under, lift your back knee and come up into a high crescent lunge position. Again, just see how that feels for you. As you come up, we're going to move through this again. So in the inhale, we're going to reach up. So you're going to lengthen through the sides of your waist. As you exhale, we're going to move forwards a little bit. So sweeping the arms back, draw your belly in. So do that again. So inhale, start to lift and reach up. And on the exhale, the arms just sweep past your sides. So chest down towards that front thigh a little. Let's do that once more. So lifting up. And reaching back. And as you come down this time, if you can, take your hands towards the mat. And again, you can always lower your back knee or start to straighten your front leg. So both legs are straight. So it's kind of like a modified Parsvottanasana. But draw your left hip in a little bit, draw your belly in, and keep the chest kind of leading forwards a little. Now we are going to step up towards the top of your mat. So you could lift your chest first. So just bend your knee. And then step up towards the top of your mat. When you're ready, we'll just roll and rise all the way up towards the top. Keep reaching with your hands, and then either bring your hands towards the center here, or if you'd like to, you could come back into Samastitihi. So palms shining forward, shoulders down your back, belly in. Just see how that feels. Come in for the other side. So again, feet together or apart. We'll come back into that chair position. So we're going to bend your knees. We're going to sweep the arms behind. You're going to interlink your fingers and open up through your chest. Take another inhale. As you exhale, just folding forwards. So as you come down this time, you can just release your hands down towards the ground, and we'll step back with your left leg. So as you step back once more, lower your knee down. Maybe move your back leg further back, knee over the ankle, and then start to lift up. So lifting the chest, lifting up with your arms. Just settle in for a moment. So if you would like to move through it and you're ready, we're going to open up through your chest again. So we're going to open up and lean back a little bit. Inhale, reaching all the way back up again. So do that again. So exhale, pull the arms down, open up through your chest, leaning back. And then inhale, reach back up. Let's do that once more. So again, just move to where you feel is right for you. As you reach back up, we'll start to move our hands down towards the ground. And as you come down, if you'd like to start to slowly come into that hamstring stretch, so moving back a little bit. As you come back again, you don't have to straighten the leg, but you might want to pull your toes up. See how it all feels. Lengthen forwards to your upper body and pull back a little bit on your left hip. Well done. When you're ready, slowly start to release forwards. Move your hands so to the inside of that right foot, and then we'll start to move your right foot out to the side. So aligning your left knee and your right ankle. Start to walk yourself forwards again. So take your time, walk it out. See how it feels when you get there. Maybe pull your hips back a little bit and press your chest down a little. Where do you feel the stretch and where do you want to feel it more? So stay here, or taking your left arm underneath your right, coming in for that little compression of your shoulder, maybe stretching forwards a little bit more with your right fingertips. Again, check out how it feels. When you're ready, slowly bring that right hand in line with your face. Start to press yourself back up. As you come up, we'll walk your hands back and we'll start to lift up again through your chest. So reaching out with your arms. Again, we'll move through it. So when you're ready, we're going to start to slide over towards that right side, lifting up and over with your left arm. Coming all the way back up again as you exhale. So inhale, leaning past that, start to reach up and over. Inhale to rise. And we'll do that one more time. We'll come into it this time. So start to just move into it, just to where you feel a nice sensation. Start to maybe move in more, but just work with what feels right. That steadiness, that ease. When you're ready, slowly back and towards the center. So we're going to turn your toes more, so towards the right. We're going to bend into your right leg. You might need to pull it back a little bit, but just see how it feels. So we come more into this L shape. And then again, we'll start to either place your right arm down and reach up and over with your left hand, or start to move that right hand further down towards your ankle or maybe the ground, maybe a block. Either reaching up and over. If it feels too much, just reach it straight up. And if you would like to, you can also take it behind your back again. So drawing the chest round. So a little bit like side angle. Trying to open the chest up towards the ceiling. So let's take one more inhale. Start to lift your chest up again, and then we'll just release your hands down towards the mat. So as you do that, we'll swing that right leg round towards the front, just in your own way. So we're coming into either a low lunge, so you can keep your back knee down, or start to move up, so into that high crescent lunge again. Start to reach up with your arms. Again, just see how it all feels. Take your time moving into it. And find a steady position. So again, if you'd like to move through it, as you're on your inhale, reach up with your fingertips. As you exhale, move your chest forwards and reach your arms back. So we'll do that again. So inhale, start to lift and rise, moving with your breath. Exhale, start to move back down. Okay, let's do one more like that. So take your time. So as you come down with your arms this time, reach the ground and either lower your back knee first or start to move back a little bit. So you straighten a little bit more in that right leg. Draw your right hip in, squeeze the inner thighs towards one another, lengthen through your chest. We're going to move back up to the top again. So start to bend your front leg. If you do want to have your back knee down, then lift it up and then step up towards the top of your mat. As you inhale, start to slowly roll and rise all the way up. And be still reaching with your hands. Either bring your palms together or release your arms by your sides and open up through your chest. Close the eyes for a moment and just notice sensations in your body. Starting to wake it up a little. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. We're going to come in and do some standing postures now. So if you do want to use some blocks, then please grab a block and just kind of have it handy. We are just going to step back into it. So you're going to make your way up towards the top of your mat once more. We are doing some wide leg forward fold, so often a block is handy for that. So coming back into our equal standing, feet together or a little bit apart. Start to roll the shoulders back and lift your chest and align the crown of your head with the base of your spine. So when you're ready, we'll step back with your right leg to warrior one. So just taking your time, finding that right warrior one position for you. So maybe moving your front foot out a little bit, bending into your front leg, pushing through that outer edge of your back foot and reaching up with your arms if you like. Allow the shoulders to release a little bit. Maybe you move the hands back, maybe you lean into it a bit more, but just really, how does your body feel this morning? So start to feel that sense of strength. So ultimately the ground is supporting us. So in the steadiness and ease practice, we need to feel that sense of grounding, that sense of being supported. And the strength is where we actually make the muscles stronger. So the steadiness aspect. The ease is where we stretch a bit more. So we need to have that sense of ease in order to be able to allow the muscles to stretch. Nice steady gaze and an easeful breath. Let's open up to warrior two when you're ready. So take your time, release your arms, start to move into it. And again, finding your warrior two. So whatever that means to you, try and get your knee over your ankle and your front leg. Try to open up through your hips a little bit. So squeezing into that right glute and pulling back a little bit, opening through your chest as you move into it. But still feel a sense of ease. So sometimes when we go too far, that's when we start to lose that sense of ease. And it doesn't mean that you should just be not kind of trying to increase your flexibility, because ultimately we are. But it needs to be at ease in order to do that. Let's take one more inhale here. We are going to move into triangle. So if you do want to, we'll straighten the front leg first. But you might want to hop your back foot in a little bit. You don't have to hop it in too much, but you might want to. Now we're going to flow through this, and the idea is to kind of create space. So we're going to reach up first of all with your left arm, just straight up above your shoulder, and reach down with your right hand. So it's coming down towards that right leg. Now, when you're ready, we're going to start to reach up on the inhale. So lengthen up towards the ceiling. So with that left arm, Beth, you want it up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to start to lengthen forward. So we're going to reach forward on your exhale. At the same time, your right arm is going to stretch behind you. And then as you move down, we're going to lift up and over. Now we're actually going to take it past our ear, so we're kind of going a bit further with that right arm. Now, as you exhale, we're going to come back with your right arm first. And then as you inhale, we're going to sweep that left arm all the way up. So we come into that start position again. So exhale, start to reach forward, lengthen and come down. So we're reaching back through our right arm. When you're ready, taking that arm up and over on the inhale, so past your ear. As you exhale, start to move your right arm back. And then on the inhale, lifting all the way up and back. Good. Overhead. Let's do that once more. So exhale, start to move forward, reaching back with your right arm. Inhale, sweeping your right arm past your ear. Exhale, move the right arm all the way to the back of the room again. And then lift up. Good. Okay, let's come into our triangle. So you might use that method, you might not. Just creating a little bit of space in our body. But we'll stop that arm so it's coming right over your shoulder this time. If you do want to take that right arm behind your back, then take it behind your back. But work where it feels right to you. And again, without feeling that you have to move in any deeper, see if you can find a sense of steadiness and ease here. Just breathing deeply, super strong legs and core to hold us up, but a sense of softness, a steady gaze, and an easy breath. Now from here, you're going to bend into your left leg. As you bend into your left leg, you might just bring your forearm just onto that thigh, and you might start to reach that top arm up and over as we move into side angle. You may be able to take your left hand down towards a block, so you could have it on the inside of your foot, but you could take your ankle like you did. And this again is coming into our posture that we did before when we were trying to open our chest up when we took it to the side. Breathing deeply, really lightly on that left arm, so you're not leaning too heavily on it, but try and use your core more. Let's take one more inhale. Start to rise back up again, and as you come up, just slowly start to straighten through your left leg. Now turn your left toes forward, so you're coming into a wide-legged forward fold position. Again, if you want to use a block here, just make sure you have it. Toes are in line, chest lifts and belly in, and then reach up with your arms. As you exhale, we'll move forward. So you might just take your hands onto your thighs here, so if that feels appropriate, then do that. You might use your block, so you could grab your block and place your hands onto your block. If your hands are easily on the ground, then move them down. Now in this posture today, we're going to walk your hands out. So again, if you need to use your block, just move your block further out. And we come into this kind of, again, similar to a downward facing dog, but rather than letting your hips move with you, imagine I'm behind you and I'm pulling your hips back. So we're getting that real strong stretch to your upper back and our shoulders. And bend your knees if you need to. So breathing deeply, still feeling that sense of ease. And our breath is a good gauge. So if our breath becomes, or we lose our breath, or we start to hold it, or it becomes more erratic, then you maybe need to ease off of wherever you are in your posture. Okay, when you're ready, slowly start to walk your hands back, so just towards your feet, and then bend your knees, and just roll and rise up towards the top. So just taking your time as you come up towards the top. As you do come up, we'll just step your feet back together again. And then we'll move up towards the top of your mat. So we're just coming back into Samasthiti here, our equal standing. Release the shoulders. If you like to have your hands towards your chest, then do that. Or just have your hands by your sides again, palms shining forwards. Closing the eyes for a moment. And just being aware of any sensations that you take. Okay, let's try that on the other side. So when you're ready, again, with your feet together, you might want to separate them. Bend your knees, come back into that chair, so interlock your fingers, find your back, open your chest. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, just folding forwards towards your legs. As you come down, release your hands down, and step back this time with your left leg to warrior one. So again, as you step back, we'll lift up through your chest. So shoulders and hips forward, toes turning in. And again, start to align your shoulders and hips. And then maybe stretch up with your arms. So wrists going back, maybe elbows bending a little, or maybe you bring your hands together and lean back. Where does it give you that strength? And where can you soften into it a little bit more? Good. Pushing through your back feet gently and using the ground to rise up from. Use all of your toes as well, so try and spread the toes like you do when you're in Tadasana, to get that same kind of feeling as if you were just simply standing. Let's take one more inhale. We'll open it up to warrior two again, so take your time moving around, again, adjusting your feet. A lot of us can go a lot wider with our legs in warrior two than we can in warrior one. So if you can, then do that. If it helps you to move into the posture and it feels like a better position for you, then come in. So making sure that knee is over your ankle and your front leg, and the front knee pushing out a little. Pull back a little bit more through that back glute. Focus your gaze. Steadying your breath. Okay, we're going to move into triangle. So again, start to straighten your front leg. Maybe hop your back foot in a little bit. And then from here, we're going to reach up with your right arm. And then the left hand is just going to go down that left leg. So again, we're moving through it in an effort to create space. So as you inhale, lift and lengthen, so through the side body. Keep that space as you start to move forward on the exhale and reach back with your left hand. As you inhale, sweep that left hand, so up and over past your ear. And then when you're ready on the inhale, start to move that arm all the way back again. Start to lift up this time through the right arm and come into the same start position. So exhale, start to lengthen. Good, reaching back with that arm. Inhale, sweep it up and over. So the left arm moves again, so on the exhale, sweep that arm back. And then as you inhale, start to lift up and reach all the way back. Let's do that once more. So exhale, start to move. Inhale, sweeping that left arm over. Exhale, start to move the left arm back. And inhale, start to reach up. So we are going to move into it. So if you want to use that same method, you can. So start to lean forwards on that exhale. This time just reaching up. And again, if you want to, you can always take it behind your back to open up your chest more. Work where it feels right. Come into the position that feels best to you. Breathing deeply. Steady gaze. Ultimately strong, but where can you ease off a little bit? Can you make it a little bit softer? Does it still feel like that's now, or has it gone past that? Let's rise up when you're ready. Oh no, we won't. We'll bend your front leg. We need to come into that side angle. So as you come in, maybe move your arm up, so just onto your thigh. If you do want to move further down, then down towards your ankle or the floor, and then start to reach the arm past your ear again. So as you move it past your ear, if that feels too much, then just take it behind your back, opening up your chest a little bit more, but still working on that sense of extended stretch all the way up through the side of your body, and then continuing up. Okay, breathing deeply. Okay, let's take our inhale here. We'll start to move up again, draw your belly in. So as you come back up again, we're going to turn the toes of your right foot, so towards the wide edge of your mat. Make sure you align your feet here before you come in. Lift your chest and your belly, start to fold forwards. So again, hands to your thighs. You can stay here. Move your hands down, grab your block again if you would like to. And then all we're going to do here is you're going to bend your right leg a little bit, and then you're going to bend your left leg a little bit. So you're just kind of moving teeny bit side to side, just seeing how that feels in your hips. So we are going to do a little twist here. So when you're ready, come back in towards the center. So you could place your right hand on your block and then just reaching up, either onto your hip or up with your left hand. If you want a little bit more, take your right hand to the outside of your left leg somewhere. So it might be on your thigh or your calf or your ankle. And then if you want to bend in a little bit more towards that left leg, and you should get more of a stretch on that right inner thigh. But again, just check out how it feels. You don't have to bend your leg at all if you don't want to. Okay, When you're ready, slowly release, come back into the center. So the options again, we're coming to the other side. Left hand on the block and right hand onto your hip or reaching up. If you want a little bit more, left hand onto that right leg somewhere. And then maybe bend into your right leg more as you reach up. So you're kind of pulling yourself round towards that right side and twisting a little bit more. Very nice. Okay, slowly come back in towards the center. So we'll come back up again. So just bend your knees and then just roll and rise all the way up towards the top. Step your feet together. Maybe bringing your feet all the way together or just that little bit. Release the arms or bring your hands towards the center. Close your eyes for a moment. Find your breath again. I'm going to come in and do a little bit of balance now. So if you would like, you can use a wall. You can come off your mats if you want to as well. So we're going to stand onto your right leg. We'll bend the knee. And option one, with your belly pulled in, you're just going to lift your left foot a little bit off the ground. So you could just stay in this kind of knee bending position. If you want a little bit more, interlink your fingers, bring them in the front of your knee or your shin, and then start to lift that knee up a little bit more. And again, you can stay like this. If you want to come in for a twist, you're going to keep your right hand where it is, reaching back with your left hand. If you did want a little bit more, you could always grab hold of that foot and reach back. But again, it's really up to you what serves you best, what feels best. And does it still feel steady and full of ease? Okay, let's take one more inhale. Then you're ready. Slowly come back to the center, releasing your feet. Bring your hands back together and your feet together. Close your eyes. Noticing sensations in your body, but also in your mind and through your breath. Let's try that on the other side. So separate your feet a little bit, bend your knee on that left side and draw your belly in. Start to lift up. So just maybe a little lift, and you can definitely stay with that. If you want to interlink your fingers and use the hands to draw the knee up more, then do that, but just see how that feels. And if you do want to come in for the twist, then releasing through your right arm, start to stretch behind you. If you do want to take your foot, then definitely do that as well. But steadying your gaze. So if the eyes are moving about all over the place, then it tends to mean that our mind is too. Try and steady your eyes. Then you're ready. Slowly start to release. So coming back down. Feet and hands together. Just closing your eyes once more. Okay, you can release the hands and open the eyes. We are going to move down now. And again, as it's risk-free, we're going to come down through Malasana, our yogi squat. And you can use a block here if you'd like, so you can grab one. So separate your feet, so a little bit wider than hip distance, and turn the toes out a little. And then start to just bend your knees with your hands just onto your knees or your thighs, and then start to just gently move the hips side to side. So just checking in, seeing how they feel. And if you can, and you'd like to, you can start to lower down a bit more, maybe move your forearms down. Again, you can either stay still or you can move. If you want to use your block today, then just grabbing your block, and you could sit down onto your block if that helps you. And if you do want to come into Malasana, then we'll just come into it. But just lifting the chest, letting the hips sink down, looking at how it all feels. When you're ready, we are going to come down to the mat. So you can either move forward, so you can straighten your legs, or if you can use your hands behind you, just take a little seat and lower yourself down. As you come down, we are going to come into Navasana, or our boat pose. So we're going to have our legs out in front of us. Sit upright onto your sit bones. And then if you can, either lifting one leg or both legs up off the ground. And if you're lifting one, then try and change that and do the other one as well. See if you can sit up onto your sit bones with your chest lifted and your belly in, and breathe. Now, if you want to a little bit more, you can lift your feet up so they're kind of level with your knees, or maybe you can extend your legs up towards the ceiling. And you can do this with feet together or apart. It's really up to you. You want to release your hands, then stretching them out to the sides. Again, just breathing deeply. And slowly release. Draw yourself in, so just round your back a little bit, and that'll help to ease off any tension that you've created there. So we are going to come in and do that once more. If you'd rather not, then completely understand. You can just sit if you'd like. Start to lift your feet again, and then again, maybe extending your legs and reaching your arms, whatever suits you. Slowly release and round in. And from there, we're going to come in and do Ustrasana, or our camel pose. So again, if you have blocks and you do want to use them, then grab them. We're going to come up into a kneeling position. So as you come into this kneeling position, just have your knees about hip distance apart. As you do that, try to ensure that your pelvis is slightly tucked under, so we're not kind of arching too much here, but push it under and draw your belly in. And then releasing your hands either onto your low back or onto your hips. And if you want to tuck your toes, then do that. So to begin with, we'll just open up through your chest. So draw your shoulder blades together, tuck your chin a little bit, and you might just stay here. If you want to take it a little bit further, start to lean back a little bit without force. You want to move your hands down your thighs, or move your hands onto blocks or onto your ankles, then you can, but again, without forcing anything. Start to feel that openness in your chest. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We are going to come up, but just take your time, move up slowly. And as you come up, release your feet and set your hips back just onto your heels. If that feels uncomfortable, you can always move out of it. And from here, we're just going to come into a wide leg child's pose. So if you just widen your knees, so probably wide as your mat, set your hips back and then start to walk your hands forwards along. Again, you can keep your forearms on the ground. You can definitely relax into a little bit more. Just easing off a little on your lower back. When you're ready, slowly start to move back up again. So take your time, walk your hands back towards your legs. Now from here, we're going to come into pigeon. So again, you can modify it. So if you bring your right leg around, having that knee and ankle in line on that right leg, and you can keep your left leg bent if that suits you better, and just staying upright for a moment or two, maybe using a blanket or a block underneath your left hip. If you do want to use your hands and move back into pigeon, then simply bring them in front of you, lift your hips up and slide that left leg behind. Again, if you want to use a block here, just grab it and place it underneath your right hip this time. Again, just helps us to really support our stretch. Sometimes if our hip is just hanging in the air like that. It's not, it doesn't want to stretch. Either stay high, so some people like to stay more upright, or release yourself into a sleeping position. And again, you can do that with that half pigeon as well. So you can always stay higher or release yourself down. So as we come closer to the ground, the extent to where we're using our steadiness kind of decreases a little bit, and it errs more to the ease side. Start to feel that in your body. If you can release down a little bit more. Using your breath. Starting to move in. And when you're ready, we'll slowly come up. So take your time, move up onto your hands. Use your hands here, so you can just move over onto your right hip and swing your legs around. So we'll just come in and we'll do that same stretch on the other side. So as you come in, try and align your left knee and your left ankle, maybe even flexing your foot a little bit, which just does help to protect our knee. So keeping your right leg bent, you could just stay in this half pigeon. Again, you can always move forwards in it. And then if you'd like to come into pigeon, use your hands, lift your hips up and slide back with that right leg. So staying high, maybe grabbing a block, placing it underneath your left hip if you like. And come in to any degree here. So release yourself down or stay higher. Start to be aware of where you're feeling the stretch. Evening up the hips. And release yourself down if you feel ready. But you can always stay high. You don't have to ever come into that sleeping pigeon. Sometimes it just helps us to release a little bit more, but not necessary. See if you can use your breath more. Directing it to areas that still feel tense. Okay, start to move up. So use your hands. Again, sit over so you're more on that left hip when you come up. And then when you're ready, we're going to swing both legs round towards the front. And we're going to move into a wide-legged forward fold here. So again, you can use a block, but just make sure you sit on the edge of the block if you are coming in. Bending the knees or straightening the legs, and you might want to flex your feet here. Up to you. And if you're not on a block, see if you can sit forwards more, so you're a little bit further onto your hip bones. So if you like to, you can just walk forwards. Or you could inhale and reach up first, and then move forward. So whatever position suits you and feels right. And you might be happy when you get there, so you might be just content to stay there, and that is fine. If you do feel you want to move in a little bit more, just lift your chest a little on the inhale, and then folding forward on the exhale. But once you've done that a couple of times, see if you can just be there. without striving to get further. See if you can find some ease in this posture. When you're ready, slowly start to walk yourself back up again. So just take your time. And then from here, just bring your legs together, maybe give them a little shake. We are going to move down onto your belly, but we're going to come into a Sphinx pose as you come down. So you can make your way onto your front, come onto your forearms, stretch your legs out behind you. So in the Sphinx, we do want to try and have our shoulder directly over your elbow. So you might need to move your elbows in a little bit, and you might need to move your elbows back a little bit as well, but try and get into that position. When you're lying here, your toes are nice and relaxed, hopefully, behind you. Your pubic bone is down, but see if you can lift your belly button up. And then start to draw your chest forward. Maybe even using your fingers a little bit here to pull the chest forward so you do get a feeling of stretching through the whole of the front of your body. We're going to use this just to move through it, and we're going to work some kind of deep internal core muscles. So we'll take an inhale. All we're going to do as you exhale is to drop your chin down. And then as you do that, we're going to start to draw your belly in. So you're going to curl up a little bit. So you might lift a little bit of your pubic bone up off the ground. As you inhale, start to move forwards again. So as you do that, draw your shoulders down your spine, lengthen your chest forwards. So again, exhale, start to round in. So this time as you round in, you might be able to lift your hips a little bit off the ground. As you inhale, start to release that down, just in the opposite way. Start to pull your chest forwards and through. As you move in the next time, you can go to wherever you went to the last time, or maybe you can lift up to your thighs. Again, just see how that feels. And then slowly releasing all the way back down, start to pull your chest through. Again, go to where you'd like, or maybe this time you can push through the front of your toes and lift your knees up off the ground as you curl up. And then inhale, slowly release. Start to pull your chest forwards and through. So we'll do that a couple more times. So again, try and feel for where you want to go with this. And we're really drawing the belly in, we're really rounding our back. And then we're really stretching and lengthening forward. Good. Okay, we'll do that once more, so take your time. Again, draw your belly and round your back as much as you can. And then move forward. Okay, you can release your hands now and just lay your head down towards your arms and just relax onto the ground for a moment. Help to release any tension in the lower back. And from there, using your hands, so just under your shoulders, press yourself up into an all fours position. So as you come up into this all fours, we're going to do a cat and cow, which is kind of a similar move when you think about it. So it should have felt like this when you were doing it. But as you exhale, we're going to tuck your tailbone under, draw your belly in, rounding through the upper back and shoulders. And then as you inhale, we're going to start to move forward, pulling your chest forwards as you come through. So we'll do that again. So breathing out, start to round in, up your tailbone, belly towards the spine. And then inhale, start to lengthen and stretch forwards. Let's do that once more. So again, rounding in. And then stretching forwards. When you come back into the center, we'll just take your hands back towards your knees, a little seat, and then you can make your way down onto your back from here. So just take your time coming down. So as you come down onto your back, we are going to do a little bridge movement. So if you do want to grab your block to do this, then please do. So with your feet hip distance, start to push through your hips, maybe lifting up and placing your block underneath. Or if you'd like to come up a little bit higher, then just move to where you want to on your bridge. And then just holding there still with that steadiness and ease in mind. Moving back in with your breath. When you're ready, we'll release that. So either removing the block or releasing your hands if you've got them clasped, release yourself all the way down. We'll come in for a little twist. So you can either drop both legs to the left or lift your right leg up first, cross it high over the left leg, and then move your legs to the left side. Maybe turning your head towards the right. Inhale towards the center when you're ready. We'll change sides, so either both legs over towards the right or lift your left leg up first, cross it high, and then drop the legs over towards that right side. Turning your head if you like. When you're ready, slowly release back towards the middle and cross your legs, drawing your knees in. Take a little bit of movement here. So we are going to move into Shavasana next. So if you do want to put on a jumper or some socks, please grab them. As you find a comfortable position, begin to deepen your breath. As you take deep breaths, the energy starts flowing down into your body, from your head, down to your toes, and back into the universe. Feel with every breath, more and more energy cascading down to your head, your shoulders, down to your chest, down through the stomach, calming and soothing all organs, through the hips, to your legs, and your feet, and out into the universe. Feel yourself relax. Feel the tension in the muscles releasing. Feel the skin of your scalp relaxing. The jaw is softening. The tongue releasing from the roof of your mouth. Your shoulders drop down. The muscles in your back relax. Find yourself soothing down all muscles, focusing just on your breathing. If thoughts come in, just let them pass. Don't stop to talk to them. Just observe them and let them go. As you find yourself more relaxed, allow your breathing to become deeper until you feel at one with the universe. That rhythm that makes your heart beat, the blood flow through your veins, your eyes sparkle, and your hair grow. Just be that being that you call yourself. Important to remember to be at one with your being. We're often so busy doing other things that we forget just to be. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale, just through your nose. And then just sigh it out your mouth. Start to move when you're ready, so through your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching your arms over your head. As you bring your arms over, beginning to bend your knees and making a little bit more movement. Would you like to roll over? You can do that onto your side. And then just when you're ready, you just start to come up. So take your time, there's no rush at all, just moving your own way. Just finding a comfortable seat. Bring the palms together, so just in front of your heart. Just putting a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. Thank you so much for coming on and practicing with me this morning. Hope you enjoyed our steadiness and ease practice. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'll stop the recording and you can unmute yourself.